Welcome to Chop Talk. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at?
What an intro we got here.
So I can cut it up, edit it, so that sounds and looks crazy. There's going to be like birds, like it's going to be like creepy sounds.
You make it cool.
Some chick yelling in the background.
Sick.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome to our podcast, Chop Talk, where we're going to be talking about all things horror media, whatever we want. But let's go ahead and introduce ourselves.
For sure.
I'm Spencer. I guess I'll be your weird pseudo host that doesn't know what he's doing.
I'm Garrett.
And I'm Ryan. We're going to be chopping it up with some horror films and whatnot. So.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. Unfortunately, we have no horror films lined up for today that we've watched.
So sad.
But that is plans for the future. We're going to do like rundowns, get some spooky stuff going on. That's kind of the idea. Movies, if we want to go into books, games, whatever else we want to talk about.
Not big on reading, so we'll see on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd leave that in the dust too. But we've still got Reddit stories and stuff, little quick, short things that shouldn't be as tedious as reading a whole ass book.
We know.
No. So, we've got 3 of us here, and it's going to stay that way. Everybody else has got a group of 4.
Hey,
that's kind of the idea.
Quality over quantity, man.
I'm
3 amigos.
I'm saying so. I'm the 3 amigos. Anyway, let's get into the meat and potatoes. Garrett, I don't believe you are much of a horror fan.
I'm not. I've actually watched maybe 2 Michael Myers movies around Halloween time, but that's about it.
So that's even like some old gen stuff too. Not even like the good neat and greedy stuff that is pretty present now. Those are some classics, so you can't lie.
I agree. You definitely need to get educated. Right?
It seems that way.
Movies.
Y'all start somewhere, man. I get it.
It seems that way, I even watched Michael Myers out of order, so I don't even know what's happening.
Oh, yeah. Did you ever watch the Friday the 13th? Any of those?
It's been a few years, but I remember when I was younger, I was pretty heavy into it. I know my parents tried to show me it. I don't know why that was a great parenting idea when I was like 8 or whatnot. It gave me nightmares, but I respect it, got me into it. But I don't know. I was more into the newer stuff, like the new Insidiouses and like the Conjurings and whatnot. Like those have been some of my favorites.
The paranormal stuff.
Yeah, I'm more into like the psychological thrillers, more than like the slashers and whatnot. Like I like it when they like screw with your minds and like the more quiet ones that drag on to like what's gonna happen, but like you just don't know when. So they get you like that. But,
yeah, those little jump scares definitely couldn't hurt. I agree.
Yeah, I'm too afraid of nightmares,
brother.
Honestly, I don't get nightmares anymore. I get no nightmares. I get nothing.
Can't remember the last time I've actually had a dream.
Dude,
either, though.
right? It sucks. It sucks.
I don't know what it is.
I know. I was hoping for something scary to happen because I am pretty desensitized at this point to most scary stuff because I've watched so many. Well, I've seen most of the classics. I prefer like body horror film. Have you ever heard of The Thing?
I've heard of it in the past, but I don't remember the whole plot or premise on it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep, I've never heard of that.
The dude with all the pins in his face. That's another.
I've seen that one. I think.
Yeah, that's an old one though. But
he just has pins in his face.
Yeah, it looks weird as hell. I don't know how they did it with like the makeup and stuff, but.
No, that I'm just being the worst host ever. I was trying to sneak by it without admitting that I forgot the name. Oh my God.
We'll get there.
Oh, I know they're called Cenobites. That's like the whole thing. And then there's this guy, and he gets a cube, and then he touches the cube like opens. He gets it like from India. He goes to India and he gets this cube, touches the cube, and then the cube transports him into this world where there are these Cenobites.
Talking about Hellraiser?
Yes.
Yeah. I've heard about that.
God. I was stuck on like like from SpongeBob, Pinhead.
Yeah.
I kept hearing Patrick yelling like Pinhead. I couldn't think of it.
No, I remember Hellraiser. That's an old one though. It's like
Yeah, the
in the
effects aren't
80s.
that great. The second one's all right.
Dude, I didn't realize there's like 6 of these.
Most of those
Jeez.
old ones have been drained.
Yeah.
They have just been sucked dry, unfortunately.
I think I'm gonna need some lists of great horror movies to watch.
Yeah, no, we'll get you a big list. I got a bunch of favorites that we can have you set up for.
Get you got up to speed.
Get you kind
Yeah.
of speed.
Seems like I'm out of touch right now.
Yeah, right.
That's what happens.
What's the most recent horror movie you've watched?
Yeah,
If you can recall.
honestly, it's been probably over a year, but I'm trying to think of one that like I remember vividly, and that's probably my memory has just kind of like gone out the window for most things in the recent past, but
Yeah, I get
Trying to
that. I'm pretty much in the same boat. I just feel like most of the things coming out
Yeah,
aren't.
the thing is,
Right.
like, the stuff I watch, I haven't been to a movie theater in probably a year and a half, and so I haven't seen any horror movies in theater and like actually immersed in that experience in such a long time. I've just been streaming all these other ones, but you know, it's been kind of dry in the horror movies and like new stuff coming out that seems actually super interesting. You know,
That's usually the thing I go home and do when I live in Virginia.
Mhm.
So I go over, and usually that's like a family activity, going to the movies, getting popcorn.
There's something
Milk
about it, you
Duds,
can't
whatever.
replicate that. You
I
know?
agree, yeah.
I do miss the good popcorn and the full immersion in it and
Yeah,
stuff,
Right,
but
right?
I don't know. It's just
I
getting
don't know.
so.
Most of the stuff coming out has not looked too appealing to me.
I'm not trying to pay $40. You know, like,
Yeah, they really.
Yeah.
$8 for water? Are you
shit, dude. Like,
you kidding
I'll just
me?
go outside to the hose, man.
I
Like,
know, right? Go outside of
the
the
tax
back
is
and
getting
suck down the
unreal.
hose.
Yeah,
That's all right.
but you know,
yeah.
I find it's better to go to the movie theaters. You're not distracted by your phone. You're not distracted by other outside things. You can
I
just
agree.
sit there.
Most of the time, yeah.
When
When you
you're
get
at
that occasional baby crying and whatnot.
Yeah.
You
And
gotta
then
love
you've got
that.
that 7-to-1 surround sound.
Yeah.
That you get. Oh, it's just way
It's-
way better.
You see, for me, when I'm at home, I'm just on my phone half the time watching the movie or something, or
Yep.
not fully immersed in it.
Yeah.
Nope, I get it.
Honestly, I feel like I would always want to go to 3D movies. That was my big
Mhm.
thing. I don't know why I loved that so much as a kid, but going to see the 3D movies, I think that might have messed up my vision completely.
Oh, no.
I actually think I need glasses in the next 2 to 4 years because I can't see as well as I used to.
You know, what is it like those 4DX movie theaters where you're
the
like,
IMAXs?
yeah, where you're like actually they spray you with water, your seats shake and everything.
Oh,
You're like
yeah.
fully immersed.
I've never
I
been to
think-
one of
aren't
those.
those only at like Disney World?
No,
It's like, really?
they're actual movie theaters in certain parts of the country,
Not where I'm at. Let's say.
and I feel like that would be
Where
great
are
for
you
a horror.
from, bro?
I'm from Los Angeles, but,
Oh, well,
Oh, that checks
but,
out.
but I
man,
mean,
what?
there's only like I think there's only like one or two in Los Angeles. That are,
Honestly, I'm from
Oh.
Dallas, and we don't. I think we'd be big enough
Oh,
to have
I
one.
think
of
Dallas
I
has one.
was born in Dallas too.
I just don't think we have one. I know we got
This is
like
crazy.
20 IMAXs. We got one of those. I forget the name of them, but it's like that you know. Ever see like the things on like TikTok or Instagram? That's like you get a ticket and it looks like a VR thing, but you're sitting like
Yeah.
sidelined to like NBA games.
Oh, Cosmos or something.
Yeah, we got
Oh,
Cosms. Yeah,
Cosms,
we
yeah.
got one of those, and that's like the closest thing to it. So I really want to go to one of those,
Yeah.
but they're like
That sounds really cool.
super expensive for no reason. It's just sitting in front of a TV.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool and all, but don't have any of those 4D movie theaters. That would be kind of insane.
Right?
I don't know if I want to get sprayed by like, I don't know what they'd be spraying.
I think it's just water, like for those certain
I don't know what to
effects.
say.
I'm like, they say that.
Like your
Bodily
nose.
fluid. Like, watching a horror movie in this and
but get a
just
splash.
get blood
A
and
little too into it, yeah.
I think I'll
Fake
pass.
blood, I hope.
catching a
know.
case.
But I don't know. Should we jump into some of these stories to start
We
with?
do have, that is on the agenda for today. Typically, we're going to have one big thing that we do each episode, which there will be 4 episodes. today's topic will be Reddit stories. Some of the classic online horror that a lot of people have gotten into horror through online stuff, online posts, creepypastas, all things like that. So we've got some
Shit
classics.
could get weird.
Yeah, no, some of that stuff is really weird, unhinged, and very edgy. You'll know, especially some of those stuff from the early,
Oh, for sure.
early, like 2014, 2016, you'll get, if you ever heard, like, Jeff the Killer.
Yeah, that was a weird era, I'll say.
Yeah, no, stuff like that, it doesn't really age well if you go back and read some of those. We might do that some other time.
I got a question on Reddit. Like I said, I might be out of touch. What actually happens on Reddit? Like I have it, but I don't understand what's happening.
Anything and everything, brother.
So, Reddit is really, really weird compared to every other like social media out there. So there's like Reddits, and then there are subreddits, right, that you can go on.
Yeah, I've
if there's
heard
a
all that.
topic you like for some reason I like tea a lot, so there's like a tea subreddit you can go to, and they'll be like, yo, so and so like blank tea is popular and you should try it. I probably should have picked something cooler like beer.
I'm like, I can't say I would have pinned you as a tea guy.
Tea,
but,
well,
you know.
yeah.
Do you have your afternoon tea every day?
I'm not British, bro. I mean, not really. It's just I enjoy it. I enjoy like green tea and like
I respect
I like a colder tea, actually. So I'll make it and then wait. But
You be using the little tea bags and whatnot. You make it real tea and whatnot. You get like, well, that's for like hot teas. I don't know how you do cold.
you can still make it hot and then wait.
No, yeah, I forgot
But
that happens.
I drink both. Why are we going into my tea?
I'm just amazed by this. I would have never guessed that.
I know. I don't think I've heard a Gen Z come out and say
it
like.
comes from my mom
that.
and my dad.
Okay.
Both of them, I mean, religiously drink coffee, of course. Straight black, bitter coffee. Just the blackest.
No cream,
coffee
no
you've
sugar.
ever seen in your life.
Yeah, and I'd rather drink spoiled milk.
Yeah, right.
That stuff tastes like garbage.
I know. I just grew up on it, and now I like bitter.
I mean,
I'm a
I
big
like
fan
the
of bitter. So like me and tea kind of like matched up, so I don't caffeine myself. Because I drink enough Monster as it is. I can't be like.
Yeah, we don't need any heart attacks or anything like that.
know.
So.
Yeah, let's stay away from that.
Dude, that happened to me this morning. Having a Monster, and then like your heart starts to hurt. You're
You
like,
get like the palpitations, like, oh, is this it? Is
You're like,
this
no, it's
it?
over.
Yeah, I've been there a
The
few
end is
times.
here. It's going down right now.
Been there.
Anyway, so we've got two subreddits we're going to look at.
All right.
One is called No Sleep, which is just a collection of people going on. They're all made up stories. None of them are real. That's against their TOS, I guess.
It's kind of lame.
Yeah, right. Where are my real stories at? And then we've got Two Sentence Horror, which is one of my favorites. It's pretty simple premise. You take a scary, like, you kind of lead it up with something, and then in the second sentence, you kind of subvert expectations, and you scare the viewer a little bit. Actually, we can start with one of those Two Sentence Horror. Let's see. Yeah, here's one of I went and grabbed some of the top posts, just kind of, the best of the best, really. Here, I'll go ahead and read this one. Quote, "Now be careful, that line of rock salt is the only thing keeping them out," the man said, welcoming my group into his refuge. "Sea salt," I clarified. "Sea salt keeps us out." See, right?
I'm lost.
What? What do you...
I don't. Am I supposed to like understand this?
What do you mean?
What am I reading?
I'm completely
it's
lost
like-
in what's happening right now.
Okay, well then allow your host to explain and bring you into this world of Reddit. Basically, it's that you jump into this perspective of someone, right? You're now placed in this, like, now be careful, this line of rock salt, only thing keeping them out. So you could imagine post-apocalyptic place and, maybe a walled-in area. You were giving me some side glances.
I'm just trying to follow.
No, I get you. No, it's fine. So the guy's like, was insinuating with this last line, sea salt keeps us out. So the guy that they just let in is the thing they're trying to keep out.
Is that like the punchline or something?
Yeah.
This like sub portion?
The spooky punchline, essentially.
Oh, it's spooky.
Well, it's supposed to be.
Okay.
That knocked my socks off. By the
Dude,
way.
it better. Your socks better be just completely off your foot at this point. Cool. We've got another story we can read here. We can go to no sleep.
All right, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
So let's see what this brings us.
Apparently didn't hit as well as I hoped it would.
It's all right, we have those.
Cool. Let's see. Let me check which ones these are, because it doesn't really give me enough.
Got a whole plethora
This
here.
one's pretty good. It's also social media related.
Oh, this is
This
a.
works
Yeah, I told you.
Oh man.
Big old
All right.
story.
I'm gonna lock in. It's
Yeah.
story time. Let's do it.
Some story time. Let me-
You able to read that?
Yep, I got you.
Need your glasses?
Apparently, I think I'm gonna need them after this episode. There's no. Wow.
It is definitely extra bright in here.
There you go.
True. We tried to keep it moody, turn the lights down, but it's kind of just blaring this big screen of white on us. Alright. So, on No Sleep, this is called a package marked return to sender. My neighbor is one of those annoying wannabe YouTube personalities. Over the years, I've seen him cough out cinnamon, lay flat on the hood of his car as it slowly creeps down his driveway, and douse himself in lukewarm water, all the while screaming epic win, epic fail, or epic maintenance of the status quo. For all I know, it can get tiring to watch him go about his shenanigans in the pursuit of viral fame. So when he knocked on my door the other day and told me he was going away for a few weeks and asked that I get his mail, honestly, it was a relief. I can't explain the peace of mind I had knowing I didn't have to brace myself for any of this stupidity for a while. I was always afraid his stunts would wind up bleeding over into my life. Things were pretty normal for the first couple of days. He received a few bills, a bit of spam, and what I could only assume was a birthday card. Then one evening, I got home to find a cardboard box waiting on his front porch. In big red letters was written, "Return to sender." I'm no small fry, but I admit I had trouble lifting the box on my own. It was really freaking heavy. Lugging it across the road to my house was even harder, and I quickly realized there was no way I was going to drag it up the stairs and through my front door. I decided I'd leave his package in my garage. It wasn't like I kept my car in there. The garage was in the driveway. Oh, excuse me. There's those glasses coming in clutch again. It was like I kept my car. It wasn't like I kept my car in there. The garage door was a piece of shit that refused to open without a good thug and a whack. It was less trouble just leaving the car in the driveway than it was to fight with the garage door every morning and night. In hindsight, I should have set the package down while I struggled to open the tricky door, but you know how it is when you've got a good grip on something. No point in setting it down if you don't have to. It was as I kicked the door for a third time that I lost my grip on the package and it fell to the ground. I heard a light crack inside. Shit, I cursed. I hoped I hadn't broken anything important, but I figured I just wouldn't tell my neighbor about it and let him assume the break happened en route. Hands-free, I finally managed to get the garage door unstuck, and boy did it screech in protest as I rolled over and over me. I dragged the box the rest of the way, set it in the corner for whenever my neighbor would come back to claim it. And then I forget all about it, until a few days passed, that is. I'm not sure exactly how long it took for the smell to waft in from the crack under the garage to house door, but it came in slow progression. It was a sickly sweet odor, similar to a skunk, and for the first few days I smelled it, I genuinely assumed that's exactly what it was. Roadkill that left its mark on my house. It was only when I realized the scent was growing more intense instead of fading that I went looking for a source. That's when I opened the garage door, and that's when the odor knocked me back, holding my nose. The culprit wasn't hard to identify. The only change in my garage was the box in the corner. I remember thinking it must have been one of those meat of the month subscription boxes. The meat must have gone rancid from being left out in the fridge so long. How much meat could have been in there for the box so large and heavy? An entire freaking cow? I covered my nose as I approached the box, a pair of scissors in my hands. I probably wouldn't have needed them to open it, as it had become soggy enough at the bottom to poke through with a finger. But I wasn't about to poke my finger into spoiled meat juices. The soggy bottom was the reason I had to open the box in the first place. If I tried to drag it out whole, everything would spill onto the floor. I was going to have to dump the pieces of meat one garbage bag at a time and take them down to the dumpster, a process I wasn't looking forward to. My scissors tore through the tape along the top of the cardboard box. I thought the smell couldn't get any worse, but as I flipped the flaps open, I discovered a whole new, I don't know that word, a whole new gamut of stink. Have you ever heard that word?
Never.
That has never, ever entered any dictionary ever. It was like opening a burning oven, but instead of a heat wave, I was met with waves of piss, sweat, and putrefaction. It was so bad, I staggered back and had to force down the puke, begged to guzzle out of me. I don't think I could have handled the scent mingling with the horrors coming out of the box. I'm not ashamed to admit I ran out the door for a breath of fresh air, but in the short time I'd spent in the garage, the smell had become so ingrained in the fabric of my clothes that it clung to me like a shadow. Nothing I tried could keep the smell out of my nostrils, not air fresheners, not a face mask, not 3 showers and a change of clothes. Every second that box lay in my open garage was another second the smell was allowed a foothold into my home. I had to bite the bullet. I returned to the garage, the flaps of the box still open, inviting me to look. I was prepared, clothespin pinning my nostrils shut, a garbage bag in one hand, the strongest cleaner I could find in the other, and long rubber gloves to keep my skin from having to touch whatever was inside. But as it turns out, I needed none of those things. I wouldn't have to touch or clean the contents of that box. I would only have to suffer the nightmares every night. You see, there was meat in that box, but it didn't come from a cow or a pig. No, it was worse than that. It was my neighbor, dead, still in one piece, but dead. I called the cops, and naturally, they took me in for interrogation. It's kind of hard not to suspect a man with a corpse in his garage, after all. Thankfully, they soon realized I wasn't involved. My DNA might have been all over that box. The smell might have left a mark throughout my house, but there was one piece of irrefutable evidence in my neighbor's own hands that proved my innocence: a vlogging camera. They showed me the footage only once. I'm not sure if they were allowed to, or if they felt so bad for me they figured it couldn't hurt. Either way, I saw it. My neighbor was sitting in the box outside of the shipping facility, laughing as he told the world he was going to mail himself across state lines. He brought pee bottles, food, a pillow, and a few flashlights. His friend, a guy I had seen at his place several times to help with stunts, closed the lid and presumably dropped him off for a shipment. Throughout the next couple of hours or days, I'm honestly not sure, my neighbor recorded a few short clips about his progress. Quote, "I think I'm in a truck now. I can feel it moving. Must be in a warehouse. Pretty warm in here. Still got plenty of food." That kind of stuff. And then on the last entry, the box toppled over. He broke his neck, and that was it. The camera recorded until either the memory card got too full or the battery died. There's one thing I didn't tell the police after they showed me the video. One thing I heard in the footage that will haunt me to the day I die. Just after the tumble that broke his neck, I heard the familiar screeching sound of my garage door. And that's it.
Damn.
Pretty good, right?
Did not see that as the outcome.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie.
No, that's... Do you know what that's referencing? Those old challenges? That people
Yeah,
do on
I
YouTube?
remember. I remember seeing a few of those. None of them were ever real though, for
No, they weren't.
obvious reasons. But
Yeah.
But, I mean, people do dumb stuff
all the
like that.
time, all the
Like,
time.
look at the
dude.
Tide Pod challenge. People would just eat.
Oh yeah.
So it's not like completely unbelievable for someone that, when this was a trend, mailing yourself, which, was all faked.
Yep.
That someone would be like, oh, this is my ticket to fame. So I think this is a fantastic no sleep story. This one
That's
is
a good
really
story.
good. It's
Definitely. I was wondering where it was going at first,
good. Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
right at that
It
end.
starts
Getcha.
like, when you start hearing the smells and it's like
Yeah.
3 minutes of just listen to this guy talk about a smell. You're like, that's what's going on here. It's very, very creepy.
So what are those comments like on the bottom?
There are comments on it. Yeah. So you've got this, and then you've got people saying some stuff. Oh yeah, this is one of the lines. I was afraid his stunts would wind up bleeding over into my life as a form of foreshadowing.
That aged well.
And some guy's like, glad I unsubbed his channel. His stunts were getting stupid anyways. Yeah, some people like go in and frame these as real, and like sometimes the author will come in and like post updates, like fake, not real updates.
Yeah.
But like they get so immersed into it, like they want to.
Basically, they get so immersed to like, I want to hear more about this.
I mean, I didn't even know there was like a whole community surrounding this thing,
Yeah,
but I see it at 18 million members.
Yeah, no. Most of these are not great, I will admit, or just edgy for the purpose of being edgy and gory and shocking. But there are diamonds in the rough, like that one. I think that one was great. We're going back to 2 cents for it. I know this one's funny. This one is.
All right, see if I can understand it on this one.
All right, here we go. So 2 sentence horror, take 2. Quote, I forgot to grab something. I'll be right back, said Mom. As she rounded the corner out of sight, the cashier began ringing up our groceries. Right? Spooky. It's a joke. It's like a joke one. But it's spooky because you're like, as a little kid, that was scary. When your mom walks away and you're left with this towering 6-foot cashier and he starts bagging up the groceries.
You gotta start paying. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, and then you're like, how do I pay for this?
6-year-old.
Where did my mom go?
Yeah, right. Did you guys ever cashier?
Oh yeah, I did for like 3 years, but it wasn't in like grocery stores. It was in like this big sport. It's like a Dick's on steroids.
Dude, I worked in a Dick's.
Really? Okay, I worked in. Do you know Shields?
Yeah.
Shields?
Oh, I love Shields now.
Yeah, I worked there for like 4 years, and it was awesome. But yeah, I remember. There was a few of those. It was funny because every time like a kid and his mom would come up and that would happen, I'd like start rushing. I'd rush and you see just the tear on the kid's face get worse and worse. And they're like, all right, how are you paying? He's like, and he's like freaking out. Yeah, like, I'm just kidding. We're
going to give this kid a tough time today.
I'm not a bad person for that, but I just forgot. It was pretty fun.
No, yeah. It's the trials of life.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got to experience that.
Yeah, they've done it to you.
It should be in the job description. There's a kid alone, the mom forgets something, you put him through the gauntlet. I guess.
You do what happened to you.
Yeah.
Do it right back.
Exactly.
It's a canon event, it's gotta happen.
True. Nice. We're sitting at 30 minutes now. Good deal. Now we could run back the story time and I could do another one. I'm down for that.
All right. How many more of those 2 sentence do you have?
Let's see if we can get a couple more,
Like maybe save another story time for next episode, but see if I can actually get one of these without having to explain to me if I can figure it out. I like to get to that point.
Run through them. I'm down to just bring up the 2 sentence horror Reddit and we can just like go until you get it.
Let's go. Let's find out.
Actually, this is the best one of all time. Don't read it.
I thought the last.
All right, go for it.
I thought the last one was the best one of all time.
I lied to you. I lied right to your face. Okay, 2 sentence horror. All my life, my parents have told me not to open the basement door, but I got curious and disobeyed them. What is that glowing ball in the sky, and why does it hurt my eyes? Right?
Is this like a kid locked in a basement, never goes outside?
Correct.
Finally goes outside and just stares right into the sun?
And he's like, so basically the premise, parents keep the child in their entire life.
Oh, I had it backwards. I thought that they told him not to go into the basement.
Oh, I think it's confusing. Why is it the basement? Why is it not like
I thought like it's like I've seen people not say don't go to the basement.
They'd already be in the basement.
A dungeon.
Okay, I didn't see that. Like I didn't understand he was already in the basement. All right, that makes sense now.
Yeah.
All right. I'm whiffing every time.
No, you're good.
I'm gonna get there, but like that one, I don't know. That one just wasn't prefaced right, in my opinion. But I see it now.
No, I agree. I think the basement door is misleading.
That'd be.
All right, you can actually go and you can sort by top. You can go by all time. We can do this
time.
I'll do all time. Yeah, there's number one. See, the reason I grabbed a few is because I like to screen them.
Right.
Because some of them, we'll just go. You know what? It doesn't matter. We're gonna send this. I don't even know what this one is. We're just gonna read it. Oh, that was dumb. Wait, never mind. That sucks. That one's like meta. I've been working on stories to compete with the best on this sub, but I'm finding it near impossible. I'm beginning to think some of you are just making yours up. And you know, it's like meta because like the guy's like, oh, my stories are real. It's dumb. Oh, this one's kind of stupid.
I was just wondering what
It's
this
also
one was.
like some of these.
I understand this one though.
You get this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you please read it? Because I know.
I got you.
I got this
All
one.
right. But for our lovely audio listeners, let's loop them in. Okay. ... She said last time we're stuck in a time loop, which really pisses me off because that's what she said last time. We're stuck in a time loop, which really pisses me off because that's what, and it keeps going.
You see it?
Oh.
So it starts ... She said, and then because that's what ... So they loop over and over and over.
No
Give
one.
me a time loop. Right. That's why this one's also really like creative, this subreddit. So you get a lot of different, as opposed to giant gargantuan paragraphs. Sometimes I don't want to do that in no sleep.
Yeah.
Where we sit there and read for forever. So this is pretty good. Let's see. Well, I don't know what this one is. I framed the first letter I got as a police officer from a woman thanking me after I had supported her through her daughter's suicide. I passed it in my hallway every day for nearly 8 years before realizing the handwriting was the same as the girl's suicide note.
I don't know. I kind of get that one.
Actually, I don't at all.
Wait.
Let me
Frank.
we're gonna read it again. Hold on. I framed the first letter I got as a police officer from a woman thanking me after I'd supported her through her daughter's suicide.
Oh, I
So
get
the
it.
letter was
The mother was the killer
right.
and wrote the suicide note.
Dang, he got it. He got
You got
one.
it before me. Look at that. See, y'all are
Say, comments, he'd be a terrible detective. Obviously.
Actually, I'm speaking.
That one.
Yeah, this is a good one. All right, here we go. My husband has been very upset with me since my failed suicide attempt. He's crying nonstop, and he won't acknowledge me.
Yeah, that's like a reference to the Sixth Sense movie.
Sense.
Yeah.
All right.
Look at that. Look
Boy,
at that.
Sixth Sense. Look at this.
That's one of my favorites of all time, though. That one's, dude, I think, okay, give me like, side topic. That Sixth Sense movie. Have you seen Sixth Sense?
Nope.
All right.
We got to get you on Sixth Sense.
I can talk about that one for a while. Like that, I can't say too much because I know he needs to watch it, but like that has one of the best twists in like cinema, in my opinion. Like
absolutely.
it drags you through the whole thing, and there's all these little Easter eggs and like key things happening that you wouldn't think would mean anything up until the very end, and you're like mind blowing.
Mind is completely shattered.
I forget who's the actor who plays him.
Oh, it's good.
I like it. I liked him he's a really good actor. Yeah, Bruce Willis.
Yep.
Yeah.
I forgot that was Bruce Willis. He looks so young in that.
Yeah, no, he looks so different now, but
Yeah.
he's a great actor. So yeah, definitely need to watch Sixth Sense.
We're gonna get you on that. Absolutely.
You never seen like the clip of what is it like? I see dead people or something like.
I see dead. Have you ever heard that? I see dead people.
Possibly.
Heard that? Okay.
That's what that's from.
Yeah.
It's definitely a banger. I watched a review of it a very long time ago. I think there are clues in the cinematography, the way they like shoot the shot.
Oh yeah.
That actually alludes to what we're going through.
Yeah.
And what's kind of happening as foreshadowing. That's the word I'm looking for. So yeah, that is a masterclass horror film.
And that's that psychological ones. Like it's not. There's nothing gore or like jumpy outy. You know, it's just straight like mind-boggling, dude, how it
Mhm.
comes together.
Those are some of my favorites too.
I'll definitely have to go watch that then.
Yeah, honestly, we could talk about what film we want for next episode.
Yeah, you know what my vote is. You know?
It's-
I love that movie.
I haven't seen it in a while. We could make that next episode's discussion point.
That's the next topic.
We could throw that up.
The Sixth Sense.
You think that's enough? Do you think we only need just one horror movie as like?
I mean,
full-
I could talk about that one for a while.
Me too. I agree.
I think we can add this as one episode and then maybe another one as another episode.
I agree. All right, that's pretty good. We should also mention
names.
the socials. The socials that will be coming eventually. Also, there's a prospect of us doing these with a camera, so y'all can see our faces, which probably wouldn't actually be that hard to set up. So I would be down almost to try that maybe next episode or the
For
episode
sure.
after that, or maybe like a season, like a.
You got to leave
a
that as the finale.
You think the finale? Yeah, we could do a finale reveal as like the build up.
Face reveal.
Yeah, but we will have an Instagram with announcements when our next episode is going to be dropping. We're in the process of making that. We're going to make it real polished, and it's going to look great. And yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. I think we can say our goodbyes. This is Spencer,
This is Garrett.
And this is Ryan.
and that is our first episode of Chop Talk. I hope you enjoyed our ramblings, and we'll see you next episode.
Peace.
Take care.